Hi everyone, welcome to All Four Queens. Sorry, I always do that, don't I? Hope everyone's doing well and you're enjoying your day. It's not that far for Christmas now, is it? So you're on a spiritual channel, all things spiritual warfare, healing and awakening, and we haven't really got to that bit yet purely because we're still in the warfare part. And you know, for me, as you've seen, it's been quite challenging, especially when you get the revelations of who's involved and why they were involved and what it was all about, and then you know your history and all that sort of stuff and the secrets that people want to hold on to. So what I want to talk about today is, obviously people are aware that people have been attacking me and attacking my home and all sorts of things. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to call it, whether I'm going to call it justice and judgment, the death message, black magic, or love not the world, but even though we need the world. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to call it, but what I want to talk about is, I don't understand, and I think before I go into it, I feel like, you know, as a collective, we've all been put in the same situation. And obviously we know it's an abuse of power, and obviously there are people above that have been involved. Not all, because like I say, there are some that take an oath to do the right thing, but there are others that have abused their power and also used, I mean, obviously on me, equipment, you know, electronic equipment, and you know, to cause harm, physical harm. So you could argue, you know, was that to put me down the death route, i.e. was it an M attempt, and then putting stuff around my house, was that an M attempt? So you could argue that, you know, this is very serious. And obviously things were reported and they weren't really taken that serious, especially some of the things that were reported, like fraud and, you know, identity theft and people impersonating and all the smear campaign and all that sort of stuff. And yet people still wanted to go on this bandwagon of like mental health. Now for me, and as you've seen in a lot of the readings as well, I think that was the purpose. They wanted to induce some sort of suffering. Now why? Because I believe that there are people out there that believe other people's lives are a game, or they don't like something, so they target somebody and then they treat it like a hunger game. But what they do is they use their positions of power, and then they use things like the dark divination, so you can't see it, so it looks like natural causes, and then they'll go through the motions of cutting everything out of your life. You know, creating problems with your work, so you can't go to work because they make stories up and they phone them. They block your phones, they block your emails. I mean, I haven't had any real emails since 2019. So, you know, and the people have asked me and I haven't received them. And then when I have received them, people are impersonating the people that they're writing to me. So, you know, and even my YouTube channel, someone's decided to create different things on there. So whoever the copycat is, they're obsessed. And like I've said on a previous one, they actually want to be in my skin. So is it somebody that is family, friends, or is it an ex, or is it an ex's ex? I don't know. Time presumably will tell. But what I want to talk about today is, if it is that, and obviously, you know, throwing out this dark magic as well to cause problems. Now, for me, if I've caught some, which in some cases I may have, I've asked, you know, because I obviously have a close relationship and I like to keep closely with the divine. Some of it was karma. So some of it was my karma. So not necessarily what you did, but my karma. The rest of it was blocked because for me, no one has the right to dictate who lives and who dies. You don't have that right. And so now what's happening is there's more projection because everyone's angry, because everything they put out is now coming back. Obviously the technology stuff is still happening because I can feel the vibration on the house, and my view on that is, I mean, obviously, you know, I'm in the process of trying to, you know, sell it to somebody, and somebody has put an offer in, but obviously somebody now has decided that they are now going to control that, and you're not in control of that. You know, it's not for you to control that. So why do I say that? Because I get the impression that whoever it is has this obsession that they need to block everything, create a narrative that you are not who you are, i.e., I had a very successful career, I had a very nice network of friends, and obviously I started the YouTube channel because I wanted to get into my purpose and do service, which is what I was guided to do. I was guided to do. So, no one has the right to override what I'm guided to do by my ancestors, who obviously, they want me to clear their karma as well as my own. And obviously my relationship with the divine, God and Jesus, the light. No one has the right to dictate that. So for me, I ask the question, is it one of those people, or is it a self-esteem issue? Is it a greed issue? Because if the divine wants to bless people, i.e. with gifts, whether that be spiritual gifts or whether that be financial gifts, that's not anybody else's decision. And the fight that you've got whilst you're coming for me and you're attacking me, the fight is actually with the divine, the spiritual realm, and my ancestors. If you're not happy with the decision that they want, which they wanted all my life, and people have decided to block it and stop it and do things and get people involved and create all sorts of narratives and block my intuition, all because they wanted to replace my destiny with somebody else. But that destiny wasn't fulfilled because they didn't do what the destiny was for. The destiny is about serving others, i.e. with the gifts. So the more that you block me and the more that you stop me and the more that you put barriers, all you're doing is creating more karma, but also you're stopping me doing what I'm here to do. And that isn't going to bode very well, is it? For you, and or for the people that are supposed to get the support and any financial support that's coming my way. So blocking me doing my work and blocking my phones and blocking my emails and coming in my emails and taking, doing what you feel you want to do and reading emails that are private, that are not for you to be reading. I want to read something because I think that whoever it is, if you're attached to a divine masculine or a karmic masculine, you need to have a conversation, you two together. And I think there needs to be some boundaries, because if it's an ex of an ex, then there needs to be some healing and some boundaries there, because no one has the right to dictate another person's life. And so for me, we're not in the realm of Hunger Games, and I feel for anybody that has been put through this who doesn't have the closest connection with the divine. And the reason why I'm raising it is because faith is so important. Without your faith, who's going to support you when those on the physical, and not all, like I've said, not all, get succumb to the greed and the abuse of power? And they enable people to just operate and harm others because of money or because of whatever it is. And I think a lot of this is going on now because, as I said in one of my early ones when I started this channel, whatever was done was always going to come out. And it's not just me saying it, there are other readers picking up on the energy because it's out there. And if you've lied, then you go take repentance with the Lord himself or whoever you pray to and seek some support from them. But what you don't do is come and attack another person because they are speaking the truth as guided, and it's happening to them because of other people's decisions and your choices. Like I said before, we all have free will and we all have choice, but what we don't have is choices over our consequences. But that doesn't mean you then go and attack somebody else. I've worked hard for my home, and I don't see why somebody else should come along and decide that they can come and destroy it and throw dirt around it. What world is that? So I just want to read something. What is 8, the Human Rights Act 1998. Now this is obviously based in the UK. I have looked, and there is obviously conventions around the world, but I think it's basic for everybody. You don't have to have human rights just to have respect for other people. Dignity and respect goes a long way, and it does go back to the point of do unto others as you want done to you. What would you do if people were doing this to you, blocking you, stopping you, moving forward, all because they've got an issue with somebody else? So, just in a nutshell, because obviously it's a massive piece of script, it's a massive piece of legislation, but I'm just going to give you the overview. What are your rights under the Article 8? Article 8 protects your right to respect for private and family life, your home, your correspondence, email, phones. So for me, I don't know why anyone thinks that they have the right to come into my life, come into my community and turn it upside down, and then stop me from moving out of it and continuously throwing out energy, which obviously, you know, is being blocked. And I'm very grateful to my ancestors and to my angels and to God himself and to Jesus and the higher celestial beings that are out there that are protecting me and are keeping me safe. Because those on the physical, and I mean this wholeheartedly, when you step into spirituality, how do the ones on the physical protect you anyway? Because they can't see it, but what they're trying to do is stop me from seeing it and taking my gifts away, using electronic devices or technology to stop me. Yet I'm probably something you need for the future, so I can see it and can help you. So why are you trying to stop? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. And obviously, the lies and whatever has gone out, they're out there now anyway. So, you know, that's down to you and the divine to take up, not to come for me, because they're out there anyway. So I think for me, Article 2, the right to life, you are protected under the Human Rights Act if you live in the UK. So I've got a right for my life. So somebody coming along and deciding to take things away and do all what they've done, you don't have that right. So I would ask that whoever it is and whoever you're related to, because presumably it's somebody that knows you and knows me, that you take control and you put right what was wrong. Because as I said before, if this is about my journey, cycle closed, 999, it finished. And, you know, the twin flame journey, I'm going to just touch on this a bit, twin flame journey and the soulmate journey. It doesn't mean that they are together. It can be. But what it means is the divine has put those two souls together because they are past life connections. Now that means that they were reincarnated with the soul of the past and now they're in the future. So those two souls have lived lives together before, and therefore they have a divine purpose this lifetime because they have karma that they need to clear as well. Now we know that, you know, there have been people, families and friends and all sorts of, you know, strangers blocking certain connections and putting things in place to block the connection and make people not see what they should be seeing. But me personally, I think that was done for a reason, because I think if we were supposed to have awakened earlier, we would have done. And it was done for a reason so that we learn strength, maturity, and we learn to see what has been hidden so that we can see it for ourselves. But we also have karma, we have our own karma to clear as well. Now we also know that people have blocked it because they've taken the benefits of the divine connection, but they're not divine. Now that's something that you need to take up with the divine, and I'm sure that they're doing that. You know, this battle, this spiritual warfare battle that has been brought onto the 3D is not my battle. It's not my battle. It's spiritual. and it's a spiritual war. And obviously people have been used to hold people back, poison people, manipulate people, poison food, because it's all stuff you can't see, isn't it? And how do you prove it? Apart from the fact that when you go, it's probably classed as, oh, well, you know, natural causes. But I know I've had my food poisoned, and I've had it poisoned when I was younger as well. You know, so all I'm saying is, I think that for me, whatever's going on, and I think it is still going on, blocking me and stopping me from being in my purpose and doing God's work, you know, the cycle's closed. So anything now is just more karma. And I would just strongly recommend that whoever's out there, you know, you control those around you and put some boundaries up, and understand what the boundaries are. Because I've got listening devices in my house. I've obviously got cameras in my house. You know, people want me to go to places at certain times so people can come into my house. You know, people obviously see people coming in my house, or they astral project, one of the two. But yeah, cycle's closed, 999. So let's just move on. And if you've got an issue, take it up with the person that is not with you anymore. That's what I would say. Anyway, I know it was a bit of a rambled one, but I just wanted to get it out there and document it, because obviously it is important. There are these things going on, and I do what I'm guided to do, and more to protect myself as well, more than anything. So, you know, hopefully I'll have something entertaining. As we move forward into the new year, I want to change the thing and start moving into some sort of a healing and awakening anywhere, and hopefully we'll get some sort of, you know, lift in the rays of vibration. But I'm going to love yous and leave yous. I'm going to send you peace, love, harmony and healing for all those that need it. And take care, and I'll see you on the next one. See you later. Bye.